And Rod, welcome. We need to unmute you.
There we go. Let me get my slides up. You can hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. No. Well, I'll go without the slides and just read it to you because that doesn't seem to be working for me. Must be a day to have difficulty with slides. Following up on Christina, some of the things she said about the buy-in from key decision makers, that's really important. The decision making and the leadership piece, district coordination, the site-based leadership, I really liked the way that she had that broken down. I did a couple of screen captures of some of those pieces that she had put in there. That was really nice. We really looked at the Speak Up data and really planning our work and working our plan. That's kind of been a slogan for several years from a previous superintendent. And his quote was always, you know, assuring your success requires planning your work and working your plan. And so as we began to develop our educational technology plan in 2010, we had a rewrite of that educational technology plan for the state of Virginia, and that was then followed by a pilot of Google Apps for Education, a couple of things changing in our district. At that point in time, resources were slim to none, so we had to figure out how to maintain the things that we had built up in our division without additional resources to replace servers or replace machines. So we were looking in various directions for solutions to that. And we came across the Project Tomorrow Speak Up survey data. Although we had not participated, we found those findings and started taking a look at what was going on in our state and across the nation and some of those trends that were coming up. In 2012, we first started beginning our participation in Project Tomorrow, the Speak Up survey, and really we're looking at data to kind of affirm some of the things that we knew about our community of learners, the students themselves, our community at large, our parents, and some of the other stakeholders outside of the schools, and how that was going to influence some of our decision making. We really used the data on home access and the types of devices that students and parents were using outside of the school day. That certainly helped us as we went through the process of deciding on our initiatives to first a Bring Your Own Device initiative, which started moving towards a one-to-one initiative early in 2012-2013 school year. We started a pilot with one-to-one at one grade level at one school and worked out some of the issues of providing devices to students as we began to scale that. We increased our participation in 2013 in the Speak Up survey and really focused in on going through the data from our participants at the 6th through 8th level, because that's what we had kind of targeted as our first point of entry for one-to-one, and really looked at what middle schoolers had to say about their own use and their preferences. We also looked at teachers and what their comfort levels were, so it also began to steer some of the professional development as we geared up towards increased level of device use in our schools, whether that would be Bring Your Own Device or one-to-one. And that really helped with a lot of decision making around the direction we were going to go. It really helped us with determining some of the infrastructure that we would have to build up to prepare for additional devices in the school. So the survey data really did help us in terms of our decision making. We began reflecting back on our educational technology plan and how some of the things we were hoping to achieve or had written into that plan, that they were supported in some ways by the data that we were seeing and some of the trends that were emerging, and then other things that we really needed to rethink. So along our journey, continually trying to increase our participation on a local level so that we would have a better snapshot of what our participants in the survey were saying as compared to that on the state level and that on the national level. That really helped us to know that some of the decisions that we were making and some of the things we were planning were headed in the right direction. We're currently moving through increasing the one-to-one at our schools. Will be 3rd through 12th. Shortly here in a few weeks, we'll have that completed. So we've moved from a single 5th grade class to 6th grade across the district, to 3rd through 8th, and now 3rd through 12th. So along the way, we've relied on internal surveys that we've done with teachers and parents and students, and comparing that to the data that we're getting from our Speak Up survey participation, and targeting some of those things that really inform us about the thoughts that parents have about their expectations for our school division and what they hope their children will experience while in school, placing the importance on effective use of instructional technology, which matched up, as you saw earlier as Julie was presenting, matched up with administrators' expectations. We're still working with teachers, much the same as that national data showed, to bring teachers into that realm of being able to really effectively use the technology that's in our schools, which has influenced our professional development. And again, as Christina pointed out, referring back to that data, referring back to the survey, showing people that this is what's being said in Frederick County, this is what is mirroring that at the state level or the national level. Most of the time we were pretty close in our responses, and so it was easier for us to get some buy-in from the decision makers, board members, administration, building representatives, as well as building level leadership, to really lead in the direction that we were hoping to go with one-to-one and some of the things that needed to happen around that. We certainly recognized from some of the information that was in the survey data that just putting the devices there was one huge accomplishment, but that was not the end of the story. Along the way, we engaged some of our folks to participate by communicating out to them through those normal channels, the regular information that went home through school newsletters, classroom newsletters, featured the links on our web page. We also hosted some nights where parents could come in and participate if they didn't have the connectivity at home or just wanted somebody to guide them through it. We provided opportunities there. We have several members of our administrative staff that go out into the community and speak to groups, and we, this past year, put that into the presentation at the beginning of their presentation about Frederick County and who we were and where we were and what we were trying to achieve, the opportunity for community stakeholders to participate. In our schools, we put up reminders during the morning announcements and the typical ways that students are communicated to, but we also put up posters with QR codes through the buildings so that students could access that survey easily. At the middle school level, that's been a real big focus of ours from the beginning. We have an opportunity in October, that October-November window, when there's some assessments taking place. So students are in front of a computer for that assessment window, and when that assessment ended, there was a link that came up for them to click on that link and log in and get into the survey and participate at that level. So that really increased our numbers of students. We're hoping to do a very similar approach and apply that at the high school level this year during that open window for the survey to increase the numbers of our high school users. We're certainly confident that that will happen now that each of those learners has a device. So those are some of the things that we did to increase participation and some of the ways that we were able to use that data, rolling it into our tech plan, rolling it into some of the plans for teacher training, professional development, and again, as was mentioned earlier, communicating that out to our stakeholders. We'll be grabbing short little bites, I guess, from that data this year as we promote the survey this coming year to show what we learned in the past to encourage people to weigh in and participate and speak up. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you, Rod. Thanks so much. It's always fun for us to hear how schools are both promoting things and then using the data as well. Very informative for